This is so real in most homes today, and we don't even know because it is not loud, it is not banging the door, it is not expressional, it is not screaming, it is not fighting, it is not talking, it is not yelling. You feel it's okay, but there is a silent depression that is gradually eating up your spouse, and before you know it, so much could happen.
PJT. Real Talk with PJT, Pastor Jackie Talena.
Hi everyone, this is PJT and you're welcome to Real Talk. I know you're good today. I want us to talk about something very, very real, something people avoid most of the time. Nobody really want to talk about it, nobody want to face it. It's not really seen, and so because it is not visible, most time attention are not given to it. And unfortunately, this has become one of the cankerworm that eats up our marriage today until it gets to its final end. It is something that you need to pay attention to if you're married or planning to get married, because it's real in our marriage today. In a marriage of a person of high status, a person of low status, a person of moral standard, a person of high religious status, wherever and whoever you are, this could be happening right in your marriage because it is real and you're not paying attention to it. Like I keep saying, never use anybody's marriage as a model for your own, because we are all different and we respond to our emotions differently. It's good to have a role model, but never copy them, because you can't be them. Unfortunately, these days marriages are failing. Divorce has no respect for anybody. The bishops can divorce, the pastor can divorce, the political leaders can divorce, different religious leaders can divorce, billionaires can get divorced, millionaires can get divorced. Whatever is your status in life, you can get a divorce. So divorce has no boundary and it has no respect. It can visit you at any time, whoever and wherever you are, but you need to guard against it. And today we want to look at something that's very crucial, and if you don't pay attention to it, may lead to destruction of your marriage. It is called silent depression. Depression is real, and when it is visible, it can actually be handled. When it is visible, you can come out of it. When it is visible, it can be managed. When it is visible, it can be understood. When it's visible, change can come, either from your spouse or yourself. When it is visible, a solution can be given to it. But when it is a silent depression, it is dangerous. This is so real in most homes today, and we don't even know because it is not loud, it is not banging the door, it is not expressional, it is not screaming, it is not fighting, it is not talking, it is not yelling. You feel it's okay, but there is a silent depression that is gradually eating up your spouse, and before you know it, so much could happen. And I tell you, the end of silent depression is always disastrous. Sometimes it leads to loss of life. If you are not sensitive to it, things may have gone out of hand. Sometimes somebody might be going through a silent depression. From there, develop high blood pressure, a crucial terminal health issue. While you are busy treating this health issue, you don't even know from the root that there's a silent depression eating up, which is actually the root of that illness. It's like treating the symptom and avoiding the real illness. And before you know it, what happened? When you're being symptomatic, it's just like giving a blind treatment. And at the end of the day, it's like administering the wrong drug for the right ailment. And that may lead to disaster. So silent depression is real in marriage. And sometimes because your spouse is covering up with hard work, I am the leader, I am doing this, I am working hard, I need to get the money out, I need to make the family working, I need to do this, you may not even notice that they are gradually going through a pain that you do not even notice. They are silently depressed that you don't even know, because they cover up with the leadership thing because they're audacious about what they're doing. But what about the part of them that is silent? And that part is depressing. So what will you do? You need to pay attention to your spouse when they are silently depressed. Or it could be your wife, silently depressed, and she's always smiling. You come, she's quiet, she's not doing what she used to do, and when you ask, nothing, I'm okay. Especially in this day of social media, some have run and turned to the social media as a way of taking and pouring their depression. But what it does is that as you are pouring in, others are pouring back into you. It's like garbage in, you garbage out, because you may run into something wrong that might trigger your depression more. So that your spouse is always on social media should give you a concern. Like you have 24 hours and this person is on social media for like 18 hours a day, should give you a concern, because they may actually be running for something you don't know. And she might be smiling, but then that she is smiling publicly and privately she's withdrawn should give you a concern. That he is smiling publicly and silently aggressive should give you a concern. When the depression is silent, it is dangerous. And most of the time, we feel like, oh, my spouse is giving the vibe, the energy out there. You're not even giving attention to what they do in the private. What is more important to you in your marriage is how does your spouse relate behind the closed door? How do they behave behind the closed door? How do they express themselves behind the closed door? What attitude do they have behind the closed door? That is what you should pay more attention to. Because out there, the public, it's illusional. It gives you wrong validation because it's all about other people's opinion. But the real opinion that matters and counts is the opinion that goes behind the closed door. And that is what you should pay attention to. Unfortunately, today we have more people concerned about the outside, the public, than the private. And so there are a lot of silent depression going on in our home that we do not even know about. Please pay attention to your spouse. They might be silently going through a depression and you need to do something about them. Now, here are a few symptoms of silent depression that I want you to look into. One is when there is distance, both physically and emotionally, from one of you. You should know that the one that distance themselves is going through a silent depression, especially when you ask, why did you become distant all of a sudden? They withdraw themselves physically and they withdraw themselves emotionally. They are not available for you physically. They are no longer available for you emotionally. Instead of nagging, instead of taking it like, as a guy like, I don't know what's that moment. No, there is something that made her to do that. And that is the root that you need to dig out. That is what you need to find out. Why would all of a sudden your spouse that is always so excited when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to both of you being on bed together, when it comes to both of you sharing everything together, when it comes to both of you having a very wonderful sexual pleasure, all of a sudden withdraw. Today she's tired, tomorrow she's giving you an excuse, next tomorrow she has a headache, next tomorrow the children are distracting her, or your husband is, I'm so tired, I don't even know, I'm no longer getting erection, this is not happening to me again, I don't even know that there's something deeper than what you actually see. Don't just take it as a norm and let it roll. Don't just take it as a norm and just push it away. She's so comfortable for how long? Withdrawn emotionally, physically withdrawn for 4 months. You have not connected with each other. Physically, there's no hug. You don't hold hands anymore. There's no kisses, no cuddling, no caressing, nothing. And you're just okay. Either both of you are emotionally depressed silently or one of you emotionally depressed silently. And you need to find out who and why. Why did you withdraw? Who withdrew first? That should lead you to knowing who and what. Who was the first person that withdrew and why? And if it is both of you, why did we withdraw? What is the trigger? Maybe there's something that happened. For example, when there's a case of infidelity on either of the spouses and one felt is dealing with guilt while the other one is dealing with hurt, you should know that if you don't handle it, it could be as a result of that particular incident that both of you are depressed silently. So like, all is well. You go out there, give the dancing, you give the smile, you wave, your neighbors, you say, hi neighbor, how are you? And then when you get back inside, completely a changed person. Change, everything changed. There is a silent depression and you need to give it attention. Is a symptom that there is a silent depression crawling into your home and your marriage. Why did you become all of a sudden distant emotionally and physically? Why can't you be seen being physically connected both inside and outside? Why can't you both connect emotionally? You hear some people say that I'm a private lover, I'm a silent lover. I don't know what that means. There should be a reason why you're not proud. So outside there, you should be able to be who you are. And inside, you should also be real to who you are. And there are some that will say, no, me, I am a public, loud lover. And because you want your friend to know that, yeah, our marriage is working. You see your friend, you're pecking him, you're kissing him. You see your friend, you're holding her hand, you're squeezing her hand, and you get back in the room. Everybody is on their own. You're sleeping on the bed. She's facing the north, you're facing the west. Everybody just on your own. There's just a pillow that comes in between you to say, please come now, I'm here. I'm here. The pillow is crying, please remove me. And everybody, no pillow, just get in there. I think we're going to talk about the pillow talk one of these days. But that is a symptom of silent depression. And you need to pay attention to it. You need to give it a thought. You need to get to the roots. Ask questions. Sit down. Have a conversation. And if your conversation is not leading you anywhere, please cry out. Talk to a counselor. Look for a coach. Look for your mentor and open up to them. You should be accountable maritally to somebody. So who is your marital coach? Because when you're silent about it, it could lead to some more dangerous thing that may be difficult to handle. So now that you have the time, please do so. Well, another symptom of silent depression is when there is break in communication. You know, communication is just like what a vein is to the blood in the human body. That is what communication is to the marriage. So when you are not communicating either verbally or you're not communicating non-verbally, there is something wrong. How can you live with somebody and you don't communicate? Because that's the only way you respond. That's the only way you pass information. That's the only way you take direction. That's the only way you express, either verbally or non-verbally. In your action, you're just in your world. In his action, she's just in his world. Verbally, nothing. When she talks, you are just, oh. When he talks, oh. Just snappy in giving the answer and making it so brief as you can. If you notice that your communication is being broken in your marriage, you should watch out. How come as a husband and wife, the only thing that brings you together is good morning, honey, hi, honey, and that is it. Till when you are going back to bed again, and good night, honey, good night, babe. Something is obviously wrong. Good night, babe. Good night, honey. No, that is not why you left your father's house to come and stay here. Good morning and good night. You left your father's house to come and stay all your life to be telling somebody you're sleeping on the same bed with, telling hi, hello. You could as far as well say hi, hello to thousands of people out there. But you went as far as changing your father's name to the ladies there. I mean, look at guys. Do you know what it is to carry this woman and honorably give her your name? And now all of a sudden it's just morning, hi, good night. No, something is wrong. There is a silent depression there. It is silent, it is not noticeable, but you need to please give attention to. How can you, for crying out loud, be communicating with your spouse through phone chat? Do you know there are actually some couples, it's a very big symptom of a silent depression. One is actually depressed, or both of you are depressed silently. You're talking with each other. Hi, good morning, honey. Good morning, babes. You're gone. Then the next thing from that time till when you're going to bed, all the communication you had was just you talking through phone chats. Nah. It simply means that there is an external factor in between the two of you. If you don't know, better know that now. The gadget was not created to become a barrier of communication between you and your husband, please. It is not a weapon created to create a boundary between you and your wife. So how come it has become a tool that you use? You spoke to her verbally in the morning, and then till you go to bed, the next person that talked to her is your handset. Something is actually wrong. A very big symptom of silent depression, and you need to look out for it. When communication change from being verbal to chatting, some people even chat their spouse through social media. I don't even know how that works. I sent you an inbox. Have you checked? I sent you an inbox today. Did you? Imagine if you're married to somebody like me who hardly check her inbox because she has so much on her table. That means you won't talk to me. And sometimes it might even be very, very important information you're trying to pass. But because there's a breach in communication already, that information passed and a big opportunity is lost, or a damage or a disaster is caused. So please check, why is it a sudden break in communication, and how are we communicating? Either both verbally and non-verbally. How are you communicating with each other? It's a silent depression going on somewhere. Or you speak to one another, but you talk like, I used to call it friendly stranger or living stranger, whereby, hello, how are you? How was your night? Fine. How was yours? Fine. All right. Let me go take my bath. He's gone. Honey, are you done having your bath? Your breakfast is on the table. Every form of communication is formal, like it is just a necessity. So nothing about expressing a genuine and positive emotion. No. And you think it's okay? It's not. There is a silent depression going on in that marriage. Please pay attention to it before it breaks. Because now the communication is break, and if nothing is done, marriage breaks. Because there is a silent depression. Real. It is real. Oh, it is real. Number 3 symptoms, just to give you a few, of a silent depression in your marriage is when there is an uncomfortable and an aggressive environment. You run far from each other. The wife runs to the children as an escape, and she's spending all her time. The environment is not conducive. It's no longer comfortable for you again. So you use office and as an escape. She uses the children as an escape. And in some cases, both of you use your offices as an escape. Oh, my office is this. Oh, or you begin to use traveling as an escape. Oh, I have to travel for this official duty. I have to do. No. Why are you running from somebody the Bible says that's supposed to be the bone of your bone and the flesh of your flesh? For this shall a man leave his father and his mother, come together, the two shall become one. So if you're actually meant to become one, why are you happier being away from each other? There is a silent depression going on, and if it is not handled, it will lead to so many things, so many, which we'll talk about it in the future. But I want to bring out the symptoms so that in the future you know what it can result to. If the environment is not conducive for you as couple, how will it be conducive for your children? When you notice an uncomfortable environment in that home, there is a silent depression. Pay attention to your spouse. They might be quietly and silently slipping up your hand without you knowing. Pay attention to your marriage. It may be silently slipping up your hand without you knowing. You know, it's so funny when people come and they're like, I've done 27 years, my dear. Even 55 years in marriage can break. That's just the truth. Imagine a depression that built for 20 years. When it gets to that point, it breaks either the human being finally out of life or breaks the marriage finally from existing. That's what it does. Because depression is destructive. It is harmful to life and you should not entertain it. So imagine if it is silent, the kind of havoc it will cause in your home. And finally, one of the symptoms, there's so many, just to give you just a few, is when each or both the couple begin to neglect their roles and responsibility. All of a sudden, being submissive becomes you neglect it. All of a sudden, giving the leadership role becomes neglected. You don't longer give attention to your roles. Your role as parent, you don't give attention to. The children are just growing on their own. You just make it like seemingly like it's okay, it's well. But then you're not even giving attention to the part of their life you need to give attention to. You neglect your role as a wife. You neglect your role as a mother. You neglect your role as a husband. There is a silent depression, either in that marriage. You know, when it has to do with silent depression, it's either in the marriage by both couple or one of the couple. And it is very important. You begin to neglect your role in so many ways. You becoming so irresponsible in the way you react to action, to react to issues, the way you respond to issues that are very crucial. What are the major needs of your family is no longer important to you. The major need of your wife, no longer important to you. The major need of your husband, no longer important to you. You neglect those roles. There is a silent depression crawling out there. Are you silently depressed today in your marriage? Please give attention to it. And what exactly is actually bringing the depression? Silently. Sometimes it is silent because it could be a trigger of the trauma of your past. Childhood trauma may lead to it. Sometimes marital trauma may also stir up silent depression. Financial trauma may lead. Ungodly ambition, there's so many things that may lead to it, but I'm bringing the symptoms. Maybe in our next series, I will tell you what could lead into it even happening. And then eventually maybe we could look for a solution to it. But silent trauma is real. Please, it's on the pulpit. And I'm talking from this point because pastor, married to a pastor. So it is real in the church. It is real on the pews. It is real on the pulpit. And if you don't pay attention to it, it may crawl in and destroy so much. Imagine if we have so many people going through depression in their family together. How will they be able to make a good parent to their children? What kind of children will they eventually bring up? Imagine if in the process, one of them loses their life. What eventually happen to the children? You transfer the depressive pattern to innocent children because you refuse to give attention to your spouse when they were going through their depression silently. Please don't cover up with a smile. Don't cover it up with hard work. Don't cover it up pretending to be winning. Don't cover it up pretending that all is well. You don't need to impress anybody. You don't owe anybody. You owe yourself. And you need to be responsible and accountable to somebody. Please speak out today. If it is silent, it means it is looking for your voice to be audacious. So please open that mouth, speak it out, and let us deal with it. Wow! I know you listen to what I say today. Who is close to you that's silently going through a depression? Well, this is Real Talk, and I'm always here to be able to help you, coach you, and also give you the best advice that I can. Don't forget to share, to like, and also to subscribe on my YouTube page. This is PJT, and this is Real Talk. Bye.